Tonopah, Nevada, like most of the towns in Nevada, was founded on mining. And one of the skills essential to mining is drilling. In this episode of History to Go, we explore the history of drilling, from its use in the mines to a form of entertainment to championships both state and worldwide. This is the story of the miners and their drills.
Hi, I'm Ted Fay, and I like finding history. It can be in a museum, a hotel, a park, inside or outside, in a church, a house, a store, and of course old buildings and even ghost towns. Wherever there were people, they made history. So I've set out to find those cool places and things that have a great past. Just think of me as your history delivery guy, who brings you new and fresh servings of history to go.
Every year over Memorial Day weekend, the Nevada State Mining Championships are held in Tonopah, Nevada. It's a celebration of a long and rich tradition, which involves hammers, steel, granite slabs, and some muscle. James Eason is a longtime Tonopah resident and participates in the annual competition. I asked him about the importance of these traditions.
I think they're very important to small towns like Tonopah that have a long history, rich mining history. Yeah, it's why we're here in this community, is because of mining.
And this site, where the championships are held, is important to Nevada's mining history. The Tonopah Mine was discovered in 1900 by Belle Butler, the wife of Tonopah's founder, Jim, and it's one of the richest silver strikes ever made. And everything here began with a man and a drill.
What I'm amazed about Tonopah is that these guys started out with a piece of drill steel and a single jack or a double jack, and just drilled a hole in the side of a rock face. It was demanding. These guys would go underground and they shoveled all this dirt. You see all these piles around here, these tailing piles, all by hand.
All by hand?
All by hand. And there was no mechanical, loader, or there's nothing that we know of today, modern equipment, that would help them move that dirt up out of the ground.
As the story goes, the discovery here was made when Jim Butler picked up a rock to throw at his stubborn burros. But the rock felt a little heavier than normal. Well, it turned out that it was rich in silver. So Jim and Belle struck their claims and came up with a plan to work the mines at Tonopah, making deals with what they called leasers.
What happened is Jim Butler, which is unique, leased out different sections because he couldn't mine it all, and to multiple miners. And my family was one of those leasers.
And those leasers worked Jim and Belle's claims until a big company from back east bought the mines. At midnight, January 1st, 1902, at the signal of a volley of rifle shots, the leasers had to leave.
At midnight, all the miners came out of the ground and the whistle blew, and then after that it became the corporate mining when Jim Butler had sold out. And so you have that type of mining, who's that prospector guy who's working his little piece, and then you move into the corporate mining.
As a result of big money moving into Tonopah in 1902, the mines were developed and modernized, and industrial machinery was brought in, and new structures were built.
This is what is known as the hoist house. Corporations built this in the 1903 time period. You have the Mispah shaft and a head frame just directly outside. You can see this particular setup. It's a flat belt cable, allows it to go down 600 feet, and then it goes over to a winch and it goes down another 600 feet. But this shaft's over 1,200 feet deep.
1,200 feet below the surface here.
Below the surface, yeah.
Wow, and these big mechanisms are what could pull that cage up with the miners in or with equipment in?
Absolutely. These are big air compressors that are over here on both sides. They pumped air down into the shaft, run jack legs. You have the jack leg, you would screw it in at first, and it would rotate the head and drill a hole into the side of the face that you were drilling, and you drill your pattern, and then you would load it and blast it. You know what's unique about this is cutting edge technology at 1903, 1904 time period, and it's all original.
So it's here in this setting at the Tonopah Historic Mining Park, against the backdrop of century-old mining equipment, that the Nevada State Mining Championships take place. And the man who started it all here in Tonopah is Bob Perchetti.
We had our first mining event, 1970. We wanted to have the state bucking championship, which was at that time was at Gabbs, Nevada. And I went to Governor Michael Callahan because Gabbs were going to give up the state championship and they would proclaim Tonopah as a state champion. And that's how we started. And it's just gone from there. It's accelerated. Then we had the state drilling championships and the state double jack contest. So now we have them all. So we have never let them go. We kept them all and had them with Tonopah and Jim Butler Days for 46 years.
One person pounding the drill steel with the hammer is a single jack. Well, one of the first champions and winner of the Nevada State Mining Championships 14 times is Fred Andreessen. What's the technique? What kind of technique did you use to win those championships?
You just have to hit it as hard as you can, as fast as you can, and pick it up and turn the steel every single time. And that's what they did in the old days. They did it, instead of for 10 minutes, they did it for 10 hours.
Then there's the double jack. Now, that's where one brave guy holds the drill steel for the other guy, hoping he's as accurate as he is strong.
14 and 10/30 seconds.
14 and 10/30 seconds.
And what are they drilling into? What are those big blocks of rock?
We bring this from quarry in California. We try to find the hardest rock we can possibly find. And these blocks cost us about $4,000 a piece.
Now these blocks are Sierra White granite. They come from Raymond, California, on the edge of the Sierra Nevada mountains, from a quarry which was first opened in 1886. The blocks are some of the hardest rock to be found and weigh about 6,000 pounds each. For nearly an entire day, one after another tries their hand at drilling deeper than the next. There's even a competition for the ladies. And in the end, the men's single jack contest has a winner who shares his own secret.
But the way to win this and the way I learned how to do this was from watching Fred and getting beat by him a lot of times until I finally beat him once here in 1986. If you're tensing up and getting nervous, you will not win. You have to be relaxed. As weird as it sounds, you have to be relaxed to do it.
We know that they drilled in the mines when Tonopah was booming, but what about having contests? Well, it turns out that this tradition of drilling contests is just as old as mining in Tonopah.
It was wagering. It was all about wagering. And you had a gentleman who drilled, it was 22 and a quarter or something like that in 15 minutes. Wow. So you just saw a gentleman out here drill 14 and was it 5/16?
Yeah.
In 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
This person drilled 22 inches in 15 minutes.
Wow.
And the story goes, once he knew that he had beaten everybody, he started mimicking other people's drilling styles and kind of making fun of them. But that was all downtown Main Street, right about where the Jim Butler Motel is. So it's, if you look at the old pictures, that's where most of the big drilling events took place.
And then there's the story of Ed Malley, who is seen here competing in a 4th of July drilling contest. But some 20 years later, he became famous for something else. Along with a partner, he pulled off the largest financial scandal in Nevada history, when, as state treasurer, he embezzled more than $550,000 from the state treasury. Almost $8 million in today's money. Well, he spent 4 years in jail, and in 1935 was pardoned by the governor. And though it's a colorful tale, the real legacy of the miners and their drills may best be expressed by a modern-day competitor.
Long family history in mining. My goes back 5 generations. My great-great-grandfather came out here from New York City for the gold rush. But this is my way of kind of keeping in touch with my family.
And what you've seen here today, you know, I think we do it more to honor what those men did than anything. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.